Hi, I'm Ashley, and I'd like to let you know about a brand new season of the award-winning podcast, The Missing, which has come to North America for the first time. Every Monday, we tell the story of a long-term missing person in the US and Canada. We hear from their loved ones, and we explore the potential leads, clues, and last sightings. And we invite you, the listener, to get in touch. Can you help piece these clues together or provide the information which might lead to these cases being solved? Come and join our community of listeners on The Missing and become part of the search. The Missing is out now, wherever you get your podcasts.
This is a police interview in relation to the death of Dr. Andrew Fairfield. The aim is to establish accounts from everyone stationed at Bowers Wilson to gain an understanding of the circumstances surrounding his death and to establish the course of his dying. You are not suspected of committing any offence at this time. As such, you're not under arrest, and this interview is not being conducted under police caution. Do you understand?
I do.
Great. For the recording, the time is 2100 GMT, 25th of June, 2023, and my name is DCI Tessa McAllister. Could you state your name, please?
Mariana Guerrin Flores.
Am I okay with calling you Maria?
Yes.
Great. Listen, thanks so much for speaking with me.
Of course.
To start with, Maria, can I just ask, how are you doing?
Not great.
I can only imagine. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Listen, full disclosure here. Johan had informed me that you and Drew, you are in a relationship.
Yeah. It's hard to use the past tense.
I imagine it must be extremely difficult for you there on base, knowing how close you both were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maria, as you'll appreciate, I'm not there. I mean, I wish I were. I have a lot of cases under my belt, but to be honest, I've never dealt with a case remotely like this before. What I need is to try and get my head round what happened to Drew, and in order to do that, I'd be really grateful if you could just hold my hand here, and walk me through the day that Drew died. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, where do you want me to start? Because I'm not sure anything is relevant.
Look, wherever you like. Whatever comes first to mind, it all helps build a picture for me.
So, from the beginning of the day?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, well, it was winter solstice, so people were looking forward to the party that evening. And we woke up as normal.
Oh, forgive me for asking this. You and Drew, you slept in the same room, did you?
We did, yes. We were roomies. We woke up at the same time. Drew normally lay in bed long after the alarm goes off. I'm more a get straight up sort of person, Drew was not a fan of the alarm clock. He called it enemy fire.
Enemy fire?
Yeah. He said it was left over from his boarding school days. Alarms going off meant everyone up.
Right. And what happens after you both get up?
You wash up, get dressed. Then I took Mark his breakfast. This was a new part of my routine. Have you been told about Mark?
Yes, I have, Maria. Again, as you can imagine, it's a real challenge for me to understand that situation there on the base for you guys. Any other case, I'd be there. I'd be sat beside you, Maria. We'd be talking face to face. I need everybody's help to piece together what happened to Mark. Andrew.
Yeah. Well, I'm the one who's known to take Mark his breakfast every day. I did that as usual that morning. I'd taken his morning meds too, so I collected them from Jasleen. Then grabbed his food from Scott. Then dropped it off as normal.
And then?
And then, as normal, Drew and I had breakfast together.
Can you tell me where that was?
In the canteen. We're not encouraged to eat elsewhere, unless we're taking food out on field trips.
Right.
Not everyone is great at cleaning up after themselves.
Oh, yeah. We have the same issue at my workplace. Some people just don't know what a dishwasher is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what did you do after breakfast?
Well, I've been very busy catching up with work. We were in condition one for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us had missed deadlines. So I had to go straight into the lab after that.
Right. And when did you see Drew during the day then?
He said he had work to do. He went straight back to our room. That's where he does his work mainly.
But in your bedroom?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I saw him at lunchtime. He was busy talking to Mateo about something. We didn't sit together. There were tests I needed to get back to, so I finished work around 4 that day because I wanted to get ready for the party.
And did you get ready for the party with Drew?
He doesn't get ready. He puts on a new pair of pants and he's happy. Actually, thinking now, that was his shower slot, so he would have had a shower and got dressed. I got dressed in the room.
Right. So you got dressed for the party and
Yeah.
then...
And the party started around 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I was ready early, so I went to the games room to see if I could help get anything ready. Sienna and Mateo were finishing setting things up. Drinks started. Food was served around 6 p.m. That was in the canteen. I don't know what else to say. Everyone got pretty drunk.
Is that normal?
To be honest, yes. People drink a lot here. A lot more than they do in Argentina.
Right. And who'd you say were the biggest drinkers?
Well, I don't think it's my place to speak about that. This is just my opinion.
Fine, fair enough. Being drunk's not a crime. If it was, our prisons
No.
would be very full.
Yeah, right. There was a bit of an argument that night.
Mm-hmm.
Felipe suspected Drew was taping people in secret. Everyone thought the party was the time to bring it up. Drew was very defensive. The atmosphere became tense. Do you have Drew's tapes? I gave them to Johan.
Yeah, we do, thank you. We're going through them now. As you can imagine, there's a lot of
okay.
information on them to process.
Yeah. Yeah.
I take it most people didn't know about the secret recordings then until they were discussed, right?
No, just me. Drew told me about them, and I wasn't really very pleased about that with him, Particularly because other people started to suspect about it, so it put me in a position of having to lie. Well, not lie, but, be removed from the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to get Drew in trouble. I also wasn't thrilled about the recordings. It just put me in a difficult position.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. The argument didn't last long, but it kind of killed the mood of the party, It was weird anyway, because Mark wasn't there.
Yeah, can you explain that to me, Maria?
I don't know, it felt kind of weird, not really a party type of atmosphere. I was really tired. I went to bed around 9 p.m. Drew said he'd come along shortly. And then I woke up. I was thirsty. I realized Drew hadn't come to bed. It was just before 11 at this point. I went to the drinking tap to get some water. I checked some places he might be.
So you'd been asleep for a couple of hours at this point, is that right?
Yeah.
And was it normal, Maria, for Drew not to come to bed when he said he would? Has he done that before?
I don't know. But I wanted to see what he was up to. I don't know. I wanted to see if he was with Sienna, I guess. They'd been spending a lot of time together. Anyway, I couldn't find him. So that's when I went to Johan. I was worried Drew had gone off base. He said he needed to clear his head a bit before joining me in a room. So maybe he was drunk and went outside. Maybe he needed to go clear his head. And Johan is in charge of the sign-out book. But we looked, and there was no record of Drew leaving. So then Johan and me, we checked the base together.
Could you describe to me where you looked, Maria? It helps me visualize it.
Our room, the bathrooms. Johan saw Scott in there. The game room, Victor and Bridget were watching the DVD. And the canteen, where the guys were still drinking.
Which guys were still there drinking?
That was Greg, Anders, Jack, Christoph.
Mm-hmm.
We checked the labs, though I've never known him to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Kira was there with her plants.
Mm-hmm.
The equipment rooms, storage rooms. We asked everyone or checked the rooms, but no one had seen him. And then we see that Drew's coat is gone. So then I'm thinking that must be it. He must have gone out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Johan had the idea to look up the GPS tracker on Drew's coat.
Right. And just to go back, it was just Johan and yourself looking for him at this point. Is that correct?
Yeah, just us.
How did you know about the GPS trackers?
We all got new coats from Keone. Johan talked some of us through the tech.
So not everybody was involved in that chat, that briefing, right?
No, just a few of us. Not everyone wanted to wear them. Some people have their own trusted coats, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want fancy pieces of equipment that make life easier. They think that's cheating.
Right.
They like winter to be old-fashioned and difficult. Like the way people feel very strongly about their old, beat-up walking boots.
Does anyone ever wear anyone else's coats?
Not really. No, you need them to fit well. And people are very territorial over their gear.
Mm-hmm. Let's just go back to the GPS beacon if we can, Maria.
Right. On Johan's system, it showed Drew was off base. He was far off base. Johan went and got Matteo. He couldn't go out on his own. I offered to go. But Johan said something about protocol. Anyway, they suited up and left to search for him.
Whilst they were out, where were you waiting, Maria?
In Johan's office. I kept watching the trackers, the beacon. I saw Matteo and Johan moving closer, and then all three moved back together.
Mm-hmm. How long were they out there?
About an hour and a half, maybe. They came back with his body. I'm sorry.
Maria, please don't apologize.
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to him.
Maria,
I want to be helpful, but I don't know.
You are being helpful, Maria. Look, I understand this must be really hard for you, going back over it and remembering it all, talking about him. But listen, you're really helping me. It helps me to build a picture. I need to visualize everything that happened that night.
Okay, thank you.
Do you understand?
Yeah. This is actually nice, you know. Talking about him. Nobody here wants to talk about it. We're all suspicious of each other. This is helpful for me too.
Listen, Maria, would you like me to speak to the team here? I can hear your distress, and I think we could maybe hook you up with a mental health service. Somebody you could talk to, somebody separate. I think it's important to be able to talk about these things, process what happened.
Okay, thank you. I might take you up on that. Keone offered someone, but it's one of their corporate people. And for some reason, I'm reluctant to go there as everyone else. I'm sorry.
Like I said, please, there's no need to apologize. I totally understand. You okay?
I'm good.
You feel okay to carry on?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Listen, Maria, why don't you tell me a wee bit about you and Drew? You know, your relationship.
Okay. We started dating, I guess, as you call it, before we started wintering over. He was the reason I stayed, to be honest. We were in the first part of our relationship. It was new and fun, and I wanted to see where it would lead. We had some ups and downs. I expected that. We were in a small space with people who you wouldn't necessarily choose to be around all the time. We could get on each other's nerves, small things, but overall, we were strong. I loved him deeply. I was in, you know. I saw us having a life together after this.
You said that there were some ups and downs, though, Maria. Can you explain them to me, please?
I guess the last few weeks we'd been arguing more than usual.
Well, was that about anything in particular?
I think the winter months take their toll on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I had also found out that Drew had an ice wife before on a base the previous year.
Right. How did you find that out?
Mark brought it up.
Mm-hmm. When was that? When did he bring it up?
I don't know, maybe about a month ago.
Explain to me, why do you think Mark told you that, Maria?
Well, everyone gossips here because everyone gets so bored. I don't know. Maybe because he wanted to get revenge at Drew. I'm not sure. Mark didn't seem to be a fan of Drew's. It's funny, Drew was trying to look out for him in his own prison.
Mm-hmm. How did that information affect you, Maria, you know, about him having had a nice wife?
It made me wonder if I was just the new ice wife. Just his for one season, then forgotten about.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good feeling, because I loved him, you know. I should have mentioned to him that I knew this. Because maybe then he could have explained to me that this meant more to him. I meant more to him. But I don't know. I'll never know if I was just an ice wife or something else.
Mm-hmm. So he didn't know that you knew then?
It just didn't ever seem like the right time to bring it up. Maybe I didn't want to hear the answer.
Were you worried that Drew was maybe a bit of a player, Maria?
I don't know.
Did anyone have any issues with Drew? Anyone other than Mark that you know of?
Well, at the beginning, everyone got on so well, but in the last few weeks, things had deteriorated.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
You know, Luca, the communications technician, he had been given a warning about bad behaviors in the men's shower room. Drew tried to talk to Luca about this. He felt it was part of his job, but Luca got very angry at him.
Right.
Drew had warned me to stay away from Scott, too. I don't know why. Drew didn't seem to trust him.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And recently, Drew was talking about reporting Greg to Keone for harassing Hira. She became very introverted here. I feel ashamed. I didn't do more about that.
Anything else, Maria? Is there anything else at all that you can think of just to help me understand the dynamics there?
Victor and Felipe came to see me in the lab. They asked me about the secret recordings. And I didn't know what to say. I said I didn't know anything. But I could feel my whole face going red. I'm such a bad liar. And I was put up in this really difficult position. Because I knew about the recordings. And they knew Drew's work on the base wasn't what he said it was. And I don't know how well I covered for him, to be honest.
Okay. Anything else, Maria? Anything else at all? Even if it sounds daft or strange.
Well, Okay, this is weird.
Mhm.
Someone smashed a sad lamp outside our room, and Drew hurt his foot on the broken plastic. I didn't think any of it, like, I thought it was just an accident, but Drew said he knew who it was, and I don't know, that smashed things outside our room.
Do you have a name?
No, he wouldn't tell me.
But he did seem worried about this person, did he?
Well, towards solstice, Drew was getting worried about everyone. He felt quite alienated, I think, because of the recordings.
Maria, can you help me with something, please, in Drew's diary?
I don't know, I've never heard, I never listened to it.
Maria, I have, you see, and
Oh,
I know that there were some issues regarding Sienna and Drew. I wonder if you could...
what do you mean by issues?
Listen, if this is too difficult to talk about, we can come back to it.
I don't understand what you mean by issues.
I'm just asking if you could describe to me Sienna and Drew's relationship.
There wasn't a relationship. It was just, well, I was a little jealous of their connection, their friendship. But I'm a jealous person. I'm Argentinian. We invented tango.
So you just thought it was a friendship? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anything more?
No. Why? What do you know? You don't know anything else?
Look, I know this is difficult, Maria, but there's some things I can't talk to you about at the moment. They're confidential, okay? But listen, I can say you and I, we just need to work together, you know? We need to find out what happened to
But
Drew.
you can't bring that up and then not tell me about it, because now you like planted this idea in my head and I need to know about it. What do you know?
Maria, I'm saying
you need to tell me.
You don't need to focus on that right now. What we need to do is work together, okay? Are you still okay to help me?
Yeah, but I would like to know. I need to know.
Like I said, Maria, some of these things are confidential. Let's focus on something else for a minute, can we? Can we go back to Mark's situation? That would be really helpful for me. I need to know a wee bit more about his breakdown. Can you help me with that? Can you help me understand the situation there? I mean, how it affected everyone with Mark?
Oh, it was the first thing that really divided everybody. Because his breakdown just came out of nowhere, like from 0 to 100. And Drew was worried about that. He thought that maybe something had caused the breakdown.
Like what? What did he think it might have caused that?
I don't know. Maybe drugs. And maybe he was psychologically pushed because he was physically doing two people's jobs. I don't know. Drew felt very uneasy about it. He didn't think it was winter over syndrome.
Right. Did he believe that somebody else might have been involved?
I don't know. He never said that to me.
You still have access to Mark, Maria?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still taking him his breakfast, and I like that routine.
And do you ever go out? Do you ever let Mark out?
Of course not. No.
For exercise, maybe, or a breath of fresh air? You know, he's cooped up all day.
No.
Okay. Could you explain to me about the key access to Mark's room?
It's just a code box in Johan's office. I have access, and so does Luca and Jack and Johan.
Yeah, and do you ever share that code with anyone?
Yes. He was wrong. I know. I gave it to Drew. He wanted to spend time with Mark without anyone else there.
Can you tell me about when Drew asked you to give him the code, please, Maria?
Well, I wasn't comfortable with how Mark was being treated. I believed Drew might be able to help. Or at least work out what was going on. And I believed in what he was doing.
So that's why you gave him the code. It was your own volition, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did Drew go to him on the night of his death, Maria?
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know.
And did you give the code to anyone else, Maria?
No. Just Drew.
You're absolutely sure you definitely didn't give it to anyone else?
Yes, I didn't give it to anyone else. I only gave it to Drew, which I know was wrong.
Maria, how's Mark doing at the moment? How is he?
Well, sort of the same. He's still sedated.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, listen, thanks, Maria. We're almost done now, I think.
Okay.
Just a last question. Are you left or right-handed, Maria?
Was that got to do with anything?
I'm just asking everyone these questions.
I'm right-handed.
Great, thanks. Okay, Maria, thanks. I think we're done. Listen, before we stop, is there anything else about the night of Drew's death that you think I should know about? Anything at all?
Not that I can think of at the moment. No.
Okay. Listen, thanks again so much for your time. If you do think of anything else, you'll drop me a line, will you?
I will do.
Great.
Yeah.
Listen, one last thing. We need a copy of everyone's phones. Are you happy to share your data with us?
Of course. Yeah, how do I...
Luca is on standby to do the download and send the data. This will be overseen by Johan.
Okay, yes. I helped sort out Drew's phone for them already, so they needed the unlock code, but I will go straight after this and do mine. Whatever you need.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Listen, thanks again, Maria. You've been really helpful. I know this wasn't easy. Look, I'm going to end our call here, but please, do let me know if there's anything else you can think of that I should know about.
Yeah, I will. Okay, thank you.
Okay. The time is 21:27 GMT, 25th of June, 2023.
Get all the files now. Sign up at coldtapes.com and go ad-free.